company, always on the run. Destiny is the rising sun. I was born, a six gun in my hand. Behind the gun, I will make my final stand. That's why they call me bad company, and I can't deny. Dun, 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 dun. Bad company till the day I die. Good morning, fellow billionaires. This is Silver 5150 with your morning update for Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. Guys, it's September already. Can you believe that? Oh, jeez. Time is flying. We're about to head into the fourth quarter, and it's going to get very exciting. By the way, that was Bad Company with the song Bad Company. The group Bad Company, they are quite the band. That's a very well-written song. They've got plenty of those songs out there. One of the most underrated bands from that era. Bad Company, y'all. I'm telling you. Very good band. A lot of good offerings out there. Check them out when you get a chance on YouTube or iTunes or any of those outlets. Bad Company. But yeah, that's a lot more to that song, but I don't give you guys very much song because we've got stuff to cover in the morning. Maybe one day I'll cut an album of standards and, I'll actually have, auto-tune and voiceover and all that stuff to kind of iron out all of the quirks that I put in the songs, doing them raw, doing them live, doing them a cappella, as you can see here. We're talking about stacking psychology, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and introduce a coin that needs no introduction at all. It is the 100 random year silver 1 ounce maple leaves from the Royal Canadian Mint. That's right. Random year. And I think these here are probably going to be 2013s and 2018s. And, as much as I like to say that, these are mine and I am so cool because I have all of these maple leaves, well, I can't. Do you know why? Because they belong to a friend. They're part of a friend's stack. He asked me to order them for him. I ordered them. He's going to get them later. And so I have these here for him when he gets to town and he can pick them up. But so, back to our topic yesterday of psychology or stacking psychology. It had me thinking about the kind of company that we keep. So Bad Company, is a song, of course, about a gunslinger. And of course, that's a very rough life. But, there is bad company out there. All right. But I can tell you, I've been doing, this about 10 months, and it had me thinking about the kind of company we keep. I can tell you guys, I thoroughly, thoroughly appreciate you guys. I'm telling you, I'm very happy with the company of people we have here in the silver community, which I consider very good company, not bad company, very good company. But yes, so these are our coins today. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pan over these, of course. And these actually, it's probably more than 100. I know some of you OCD guys out there, I'm going to go ahead and hold still for a second. Some of you OCD guys out there, you're out there counting those coins right now. You're looking at the screen and going, well, how many coins you go for? Trust me, it's at least 100, probably a little bit more. But anyway, it's just part of these displays I like putting together for you guys, just to have a little fun and, enjoy looking at the sharp and shiny, whether it's mine or not. I just want to be able to share it with you. As you know, on Friday, I shared a bunch of mechanic stuff. I share my stuff with you. And this is another friend of mine who involuntarily is sharing his stack with us today in the show. I'm sure I'll hear about it later. But you know what? I take good care of these coins. I make sure that I don't damage them or anything like that. I'm very good at stacking them this way and not doing them any harm. So there should be no harm in it. All right. So, I do not own these. These belong to a friend, but that's okay. The point is that he trusts me, and I've got friends like this, that trust me to get him precious metal. He sends me cash, and I buy his metal for him because he's not very good at it. He doesn't have time to do it. He's not into the online game. He doesn't like being, exposed to the internet, and I get that. So this is part of that ambassadorship to where, I go around and, I talk to people and stuff. But if I find some of my friends that are most likely going to be of an elderly nature that don't want to be bothered with the process, but do want to be part of the movement, I will help them acquire precious metals because that's what, that's what I do. So I feel pretty good about that. Anyway, so we do this stuff. We do what we can to help each other here in the stacking community. You guys are always putting out good information. All right. We trust each other. We assist each other as much as possible. And then later, once this thing takes off, we're actually going to help each other get the maximum benefit from our stacks so we can all prosper. This is cool stuff. This is very good company, not bad company. This is what good company does. What good people do, and the stacking community on the whole are good people. I mean, you got some people that come in there and they're just kind of poking around and whatnot. And then you have some people that, are probably anti-stacking, but, they either say something or they don't. But you know what? They're welcome here too. All right. But yeah, with these coins here, I think just like with the Britannias and the Philharmonics, these RCM Maple Leafs, Royal Canadian Mint Maple Leafs, both gold and silver ones, I think are some of the most underrated coins out there, along with those Britannias and Philharmonics. See, these coins, they are one of those, just like the American Silver Eagle, where the design doesn't change very much over the decades. So it becomes kind of commonplace and kind of pedestrian. And so people don't want to necessarily stack these when they can find some other themes out there, And yeah, I think that's a big mistake because, they do look good. They are good, solid coins. And the 4.9's fine part is pretty nice too. Good day, YouTube. 4.9 fine here. And that was me channeling my inner 4.9's fine. He's got such, I don't know, I just like his style, man. It's just very down to earth, very cool and stuff. But I do like the intro and stuff because he's got like the music. Good day, YouTube. 4.9's fine here. And it just kind of tells you that, oh man, we're gonna have some fun now because he's gonna pour something. So yeah, 4.9's fine is one of the channels I really enjoy. This guy, man, I think he's an absolute genius. 4.9's fine. I think he's an absolute genius at replicating critters in silver. But like I said, the intro gets me too. It's very simple and catchy. The whole thing is totally awesome. I love watching this channel. And if you guys want to learn more about pouring silver, 4.9's fine. He is definitely one of the guys you want to watch. So check him out on YouTube if you haven't. 4.9's fine. So yeah, I have a few Maple Leafs myself, but what I ended up doing was I ended up loading up on so many of the other Royal Canadian Mint offerings, like in the 1 ounce and the 1.5 ounce and the 2 ounces, that I never really got around to these too much. Like I said, I have friends that have plenty of them, but there's so many other things from the Royal Canadian Mint. So, yeah, I never loaded up on the Maples. I always got distracted by other things like the Supermans. And I think, actually, in the different denominations, they have the Mounties out there, the Royal Canadian Mint Mounties. They've got the wildlife series of all kinds of critters you could think of. And then there's those 2 ounce orcas they have. Remember the 2 ounce Krakens everybody was after? Florida Stacker. I traded with him for a RCM low mintage, a low serial number kilo bar back a few months ago. And so, so everybody's after all these other themes from Royal Canadian Mint. And so the poor Maple, it doesn't get a lot of billing. It doesn't get a lot of billing at all. So anyway, all right. We will continue to pan around these, but while we do this, let's take a quick look at the markets. All right. So it looks like stock futures right now are barely hanging on. All right, they're barely hanging on. And, I think they're just kind of, spending, the last couple of days in a mixed session trying to figure out just what the heck Fed Chair Jerome Powell's concession to inflation actually meant. He said, well, they want inflation, they're going to get it. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? What is it going to look like? Are they going to actually pump money directly into the market? Are they going to prop up banks and allow them to buy, stuff into the stock market? What have you? I know the NASDAQ is on point to make some new records today. It looks like it's going to punch through 12,000 if it continues on the track that it's on. And, what does that mean? That means the tech stocks are doing very well while everything else is kind of lagging, which kind of reminds you of what? That's right. The 2000 tech bubble that popped, and took the market down with it. I think at the time, the NASDAQ maxed out at 5,000 back then. And then it ended up dropping down to something like in the teens, like 1,800 or something like that. Took a lot of people's money with it. And, and it was because, you had some .com stuff in there. You had all kinds of stuff in there. And so we're at that stage now where you have these huge juggernauts, Alphabet and, Amazon and all these different, huge Apple tech stocks that are really, really propping up the NASDAQ and just kind of leave everything else behind. But anyway, so yeah, we'll try to make sense of this as we go along. But it looks like stock futures are under pressure. That means stocks are probably not going to perform very well today. But right now, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, and the Russell 2K small caps are all trading in the green. About, geez, 1/10 of 1%, anywhere from a tenth to a quarter of a percent. Not very much, and on the way down, by the way. With the Dow is just over 28,400 in pre-market trading. So 28,419 right now the Dow is in pre-market trading and dropping. All right, now gold and silver appear to be on track to set new postmodern highs. Now we know that gold had passed 2,000 earlier in last month's session and stuff, and so it got up there, but now it's back down. And if you guys could see this chart, man, one day I'll get good at showing you the charts, but I can tell you like this: there is a line of the trading activity last night in gold that looks like the top of some of those mountains in the Grand Canyon, just completely flat table top mountain looking formation on the gold chart and the silver chart, because basically we have a battle line in gold and silver. The battle line for silver, of course, being $30 an ounce, and then the battle line for gold being $2,000 an ounce. And gosh, you think last year, do you think we ever would have been talking about these numbers that we're talking about right now in gold and silver? But it's happening. It's happening, and this is a battle. If I had to relate it to a battle that took place, say, in the movies, it would be, Avengers Endgame, where you got Thanos and all his guys on the battlefield, and the ships up there in the sky, and then you've got, Ant-Man and all the other Avengers and stuff. They're out there, and they're materializing, with Doctor Strange's people, and everybody's on the battlefield. Captain Marvel shows up, punches the crap out of the ship. This is the kind of battle that's going on with precious metals right now. Especially gold and silver. I can't tell you too much to platinum and palladium. They're all kind of hanging in there, and they're packing on some good percentages right now. But gold, for example, is right under $2,000 at 1997 and some change, up some $18 or 1%, going into the morning session. And then, of course, silver right now is up some 2%, and that's a pretty good average for silver. Silver's always up about 2%, and it's tracking at $29.18 on the way to 30, by the way, at 58 cents up. So that's a pretty good action for silver. But it had me kind of concerned, because I look at my channel and I see that you guys are really good about subscribing and commenting. I noticed that my subscribers are starting to head very close to that critical 2,500 subscriber mark, where we're going to do the Blackbeard, Black Flag, Queen Anne's Revenge, APMEX Mint Direct, Pirate Ship giveaway, 1 ounce silver coin from the Perth Mint, along with two 2017 1/10 ounce Somali silver elephants in tow. That is a giveaway for one person when we get to 2,500 subscribers. We may have supplemental giveaways, but I think we'll just do the one, because if the silver market closes at $30 up, okay, at $30, it closes at $30 at the end of the session, then we're going to have another giveaway. Of course, you guys know that's going to be the Germania oak leaf that actually comes with a certificate of authenticity, if you believe that. Yes, it does. I hadn't mentioned it earlier, but it's one of the Germania oak leaves from 2019, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. So that's going to be for our we closed above 30 on the silver market giveaway. So we got those two giveaways that are right. I mean, we might see those this week. I might have to do 2 giveaways this week, and then, of course, if that happens, then we're going to be bored, and then I might have to do a giveaway after that. Who knows? But anyway, you can bet your sweet Bippy, man, we're in for such a wild ride. So as we see, gold and silver is, moving upwards. Of course, what does this mean? This means that the euro is starting to break out, and it is well into the 119 handle on the euro, which means the dollar has dived down. Get ready, guys, below the 92 handle. So it's at 91.80 right now, 91.80 on the dollar index, which is quite a bit lower than last week when we were at 93.94. Remember that? The dollar is diving down. And this is kind of weird, because if Powell says he's going to, and actually it's not weird, because if Powell says he's going to add inflation, maybe it's already happening, because as there's more inflation, that means there's more dollars being printed or produced or created or zapped into existence, which weakens every singular dollar by doing that, because there's more copies of it. And so the dollar goes down in value, which brings precious metals up in value, which tells you guys that are new to the game that you need to start stacking more creatively, a little bit faster. We talked about that yesterday. We'll talk about it some more today. But you guys that have been stacking for a while and you got your big fat stacks, and you're probably looking at your AppMex portfolio. All right. So let me get into our topic today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get back onto the stacking psychology. But yeah, so all these things I just talked about, though, these are going to be the fire that lights the rocket that gold and silver are going to be riding on here pretty soon. So just keep your eye on that. Now, interesting dynamic I noticed this weekend as I experienced a complete breakdown in cabin fever. And I ended up hanging out with some friends at one of the smallest, smokiest casinos you can imagine. But you know what? I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute of it. I was so desperate to get out of the house, guys. Been cooped up in the house and just been trying to clean and get things ready for what? I have no idea. Every once in a while somebody come over, we got our mask on. And, and then we may relax a little bit later after once we keep our social distancing. But the thing is, you want to get out, you want to get some atmosphere. So that's what I did. I ended up, running off with some friends to a real tiny, smoky casino, but I really enjoyed it. But the thing I noticed when I was there amongst the gamers, and then the gamers are the people that play there at the casino on a regular, the tables, the machines and stuff. But the gamers at the machines, especially, is that they would issue positive encouragement to their fellow gamers whenever they scored a big win. So these could be people that know each other. These could be people that don't know each other, but they're all gaming, they're in the casino. And you could have somebody get on the machine and lose their shirt, walk away, then have somebody else jump right on it. And then they start to hit big, and lo and behold, the person that just lost their shirt, they're standing behind that person going, yeah, man, you did it. You did it. And I'm going, but that was your money. That's not how they think. Not at the casino I was at. The way they think at the casino I was at, they're thinking, hey, somebody won. I may have lost, but somebody won. And I think the reason is because, it's this strange magic. What strange magic is this 5150? You ask me. And my guess is that there's a camaraderie amongst gamers that stems from realizing that the house, meaning the casino, is the opposition, not the gamers. All right? Not the fellow gamers. Any more than stackers amongst our group are with each other. So the real antagonist for us stackers, of course, being the U.S. global financial fiat system. All right? It's a game that talking about they, the powers that be, it's a game that they control, this fiat system. And the only way for us to be a part of it is just to participate in it. We don't control anything. We just participate in it. We go into work. We buy the stuff. We use the credit, maybe. We use the debit. We use the cash. And we buy the stuff. And we're just participating in the system that they created, which is not a very good system. It's not a system where we win. It's a system where they win eventually. All right? They control it, and we only get to participate in it. So what this is telling me, that even at the most subconscious psychological level, that we as human beings, working for a corrupt system, we realize that we're all kind of stuck right here now, and the only way out is to escape together. Talking about the stackers. We are all doing our thing individually, right? But we know that when we escape, it's going to be probably as a unit. Excuse me. So, does that mean that everyone will escape at the same time and in the same way? Hardly. I don't think it's going to work that way. I think we'll all, kind of have our own escape pods and, the various sizes and shapes and security levels. But we'll all be making that escape, and we'll all be kind of looking at each other and watching out for each other while we're doing it. But I think what it means is that most of us that are awake and seek to make it to freedom, we will continuously tighten up and coalesce as a group to get to the other side where there's free markets and free people, which will be a great thing. I look very much forward to that. So to that effect, I will make one final multifaceted point about stacker psychology, and that this will be a completely cringeworthy topic, by the way. For you guys that are debit-minded, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that clear. So I'm going to make this multifaceted point about stacker psychology. But what I'm about to say, if you're a debit-minded person and you don't like credit, you might want to go ahead and plug your ears right now for about a minute, because you're not going to want to hear what I have to say. I've been talking about credit, and I'm talking about using it, trying to figure out how to use it. Excuse me, and stuff. But the thing is in my interview Sunday with Silver Game of Thrones. Now, I had an interview Sunday with Silver Game of Thrones. And if you haven't seen that video, I have it posted on my channel if you want to watch it. It's a little long, but, we cover some good points. We have some fun out there. right? But in my Sunday interview with Silver Game of Thrones, I submitted the notion to him of using a broken and dying credit system that will actually break the silver market. So, that's the thing. He's a debit-minded stacker, too. He doesn't like to spend a lot of credit. He doesn't like to spend any credit. He likes to keep his credit cards clear. He loves his high credit score. And, for a lot of people, like I said, it's a badge of honor to live a debit lifestyle. I get it. I've done it. But I'm submitting to him, the notion of using that broken and dying credit system to actually break the silver market. And imagine how much irony that would be, how rich that would be. If the bad tools, the bad instruments of the old system was used to break it and then usher in the new system, with precious metals. So imagine a bunch of stackers with a bunch of great credit ratings and fat lines of credit suddenly flooding and breaking the physical silver market and thereby wiping out derivatives manipulation forever. Okay? Now, 3 things I want to mention about this wild theory. This is the multifaceted part. The first being that this is highly unlikely to happen, as it would take a fairly concerted effort to have the credit stampede deliver an impactful punch. That means we'd all have to act at the same time. Now, if you guys remember back in back in March of 2020, Chris Dewayne, he had a clarion call, and Chris Dewayne, he's from Greatest Truth Never Told. Chris Dewayne had a clarion call to break the silver market back in March to have everyone buy silver this past April 20th. You guys remember that? He's like, everybody buy silver on April 20th, 420, we're going to buy silver, we're going to break the silver market. So it'd be like that, except everybody would flood the market with their credit and buy everything off the shelves. So that's, basically how it could work. I don't think it would work that way. The second thing is that many stackers out there would naturally be opposed to such action because they're newer to the game and they would prefer more time to stack and have the system go on for a bit longer. And I totally get that. If you're new to the game, you're trying to get more stuff in your stack, I'm not necessarily pushing for the end of this. I hope you get as much as you can, but it is going to end. And when it does, it's going to end with a thud. So, do your due diligence and get what you can get. But just know there's other tools and avenues out there available to you. Now, the third thing I want to add, and this is very important. The third thing is if something mysteriously happens to me this month and I'm never heard from again, then I may have very well been on to something about this credit thing, and that I ask that you please inquire about my sudden disappearance. I'm just kidding. I had to be a little dour there for the sake of humor. But guys, you got to understand though, even though we have fun doing this is a serious game we're playing. Betting against the moral collapse of the old global financial system is what we're doing. But here's the good news. All the bad practices, all the destructive energies that come from the bones of the old system will have to funnel their way into the new wealth asset cycle. So the new wealth asset, of course, is going to be gold and silver. But all of that bad stuff, you guys saw my notes, all that bad stuff is going to funnel its way down into gold and silver and copper. What? I know. So that's the thing. So to give you an example of what that looks like, Warren Buffett, for example, this weekend, he bought a lot of Asian contractual shares in different markets and stuff, and they were all related to precious metals. $8 billion worth of stuff. And so what he basically did is he sold some of this, and he bought some of this down here. But he did it in an indirect way, so it's very hard for people that are watching out to see what he's doing to track what he's doing, like the CFTC. So he took some of this complete derivatives garbage up here, sold it, declared it, capital, and he went and took that capital and he put it in here. So he's already making that transition down into precious metals. We're already here, waiting for guys like him to funnel their junk into us. I hope that made sense because it came a great sacrifice. You guys saw my notes. Look here. All those destructive energies we're talking about, the derivatives garbage, the non-monetary commodities, talking about the stocks and stuff, and all that, they will have to funnel their way down into the new wealth cycle, which is, of course, precious metals. Not stocks, not bonds, not real estate, not the treasuries, or even new currencies are going to be part of that new wealth cycle. They'll be part of newer wealth cycles later on, but not for today. Today, it's over for them, and it's the new day for gold and silver. All right, now notice I didn't say anything about cryptocurrencies because I think the marriage of blockchain-style ledgers, the marriage of them to the solvency of precious metals, will create the ideal use and velocity of real money around the globe, and eventually will fix everything. but they have to be put together properly and work properly and be set up in a free system. But we'll let some IT eggheads handle that while we continue doing the part that requires very little brains. Silver Game of Thrones says, Silver requires very little brains. And that is to stack, 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 and then stack some more. All right? Feel free to share what you recently stacked to the ceiling from the floor. Haha, just a little poetry there. Just trying to have fun. Look, I'm Silver5150 telling you that your stack is not whack. Okay? And that just 12 ounces to your name keeps you 99% ahead of the game. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and comment if you feel so inclined. And by the way, if you haven't checked out that interview I had with Silver Game of Thrones recently on Sunday, I ask that you give it a listen. I look forward to your comments there, and we will see you tomorrow with another morning update. You guys take care.